Meeting recording has started.
Workshop organized by Community Development Authority of Dubai with Mlbar volunteering team. Today we have one special guest speaker and founder of and president of Friends of Parkinson's UAE, Mr. Huzaifa Ibrahim. He is conducting the workshop. You know, volunteering is our responsibility to be part of the nation where we are residing. We all are responsible for volunteering to help, to cooperate elder people, children who need care and protection in the society. That's why we are volunteering. We are a part of Dubai Community Development Authority. I'm not speaking more. Today we have a distinguished guest and a part of CDA volunteering programs, Mr. Muhammad Hussein Ali from Dubai Police. He will inaugurate this extraordinary workshop. We are very much gratitude to in presence of Mr. Ahmed Al-Zabi, Dubai Executive of Volunteering Program. I heartily welcome Mr. Muhammad Hussein Ali to inaugurate this extra function, and followed by Mr. Huzaifa Ibrahim is conducting the subject volunteering and its positive impact on an individual's life. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's my pleasure to be part of you in this volunteering and its possible impact on individual life. So I hope you enjoy the work with Mr. Huzaifa Ibrahim. Thank you again. Huzaifa,
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I've been so full of Superman energy throughout my life. It all started with tremors, stiffness, and painful cramps. After months of intense agony, unruly, unyielding pain, one fine morning, I woke up with my joints locked in and my toes clawed in, started shuffling. My wife on one side, my kid on the other, held me. And I remember my kid saying, "Baba, I can be your walking stick." Finally, I was told I have young onset Parkinson's disease. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. From Hatta, together, we'll take off on a journey to understand more about volunteering and its positive impact on an individual's life. Now, you might be wondering, or a question might rise on your mind. What made me start volunteering? It's the title, People of Determination. When the hearts unify and beat together in one rhythm, it forms a symphony that can only be heard and felt, as the words fall short to express the sentiments of love and gratitude to our wise leadership for their diverse and fruitful initiatives for people of determination. Most prominent of them, the unique and pleasant name. These initiatives had a noticeable positive impact in improving the quality of my social, professional, and personal life. What's Parkinson's? It's a brain disorder that leads to shaking, stiffness, and difficulty with walking, balance, and coordination. Parkinson's symptoms usually begin gradually and get worse over time. As the disease progresses, people may have difficulty walking and talking. They may also have mental and behavioral changes, sleep problems, depression, memory difficulties, and fatigue. Both men and women can have Parkinson's disease. However, the disease affects about 50% more men than women. There are four main symptoms of Parkinson's disease. The first is tremor, which is trembling, either in hands, arms, legs, jaw, or head. Stiffness of the limbs and trunk, slowness of movement, impaired balance and coordination, sometimes leading to falls. Parkinson's is the second most common neurodegenerative disease and is expected to become a condition with a prevalence of 1 in 50 over 50 years of age will develop this disease, and recent epidemiological data shows a significant rise among patients of early age. What is volunteering, or what is volunteer work? It's a civilized social activity that includes practicing social behavior or practicing positive behavior or exerting effort, money, time, experience, or an idea to help people and make them happy without a financial return or profit. And it stems from the human instinct and the needs of societies. Voluntary work helps a person improve himself and his morals, to instill in himself the feeling of the need to help those around him and strip him of the feeling of selfishness. Volunteering also helps in the advancement of society to ensure a better future for the generations to come. Motives for volunteering. Religious motive. It is the individual's attempt to gain the pleasure of God Almighty through volunteering and helping others without any physical reward. Moral motive. as volunteering and participation in doing good gives a feeling of psychological comfort. Last but not the least, personal motive. Every person has his motives that result in his desires to participate in volunteering work. And these motives differ from one person to another. And we find that the most prominent personal motives are a set of principles and values that a person is brought up on in terms of standing by the needy or helping without waiting for anything in return. My motives: pleasing the Almighty, spreading happiness and positivity in society through volunteering, contributing to the process of giving and community service to build a better future for generations to come. Promote awareness of Parkinson's disease in the community. Let's talk a bit about two different types of personalities. The first is the successful. An active human being, full of achievement, giving, achieving public benefit, and helping others. A personality that makes things happen and creates history. Second is the negative personality, an inactive human being who waits for instructions, does not move unless someone asks him to do so, does not think or care about others or the future. One of the most wonderful quotes that Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid said, with a positive outlook, you see challenges as opportunities, the future full of success, and people packed with potential, abilities, talent, and goodness. Talking about successful personalities, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum said, the depth of our commitment to our homeland makes it imperative for us to serve our society and adopt its causes. For Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan did not wait for history to be written about him, but made history himself. And Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum did not expect history to be written about him. He made history by himself. These are the examples our leaders have given to us. We learned from our wise leaders, may God protect them, that giving is the expansion of the nation's horizons to build and develop a cohesive society and create a kind of trust, love, and bonding among its members. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan said, we each owe the UAE a great deal. And I call on all our young people to make their own commitment. Our country deserves the best we can. Our country deserves the best that we can give it. Giving back to society is something that brings out the best in every one of us. Forms of volunteering work. The first is individual. It is an action or social behavior that is practiced by the individual on his own accord, with his desire and will, and he does not seek any material return behind it, and is based on moral, social, humanitarian, or religious considerations. Second is institutional. It is more advanced than individual volunteer work. It's more organized and has a broader influence in the society. In the United Arab Emirates, there are many institutions and large and many charitable organizations that contribute to large volunteer work to serve the community inside and outside the country. Volunteering in the United Arab Emirates. The United Arab Emirates stresses on the culture of volunteering and promoting sustainable development and building a better future for generations to come. There are many organizations that engage in different volunteering activities and serving the community that support volunteering activities across the country and the globe. You may volunteer your time and services to any social charitable causes of your choice and see how you can help. I'll be explaining this in detail shortly. Talking about the COVID-19 pandemic. When the world was brought to its knees during the pandemic, Your City Needs You volunteering campaign was launched by His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the Crown Prince of Dubai and Chairman of Dubai Executive Council. He said, "My message to everyone is to volunteer to join the dedicated teams that are working around the clock to protect our community. This is part of our social responsibility and our duty to help safeguard the welfare of our society. Our aim is to ensure the highest level of protection against the global pandemic we're facing to support the government's efforts to combat it. This is a great opportunity to show our unity and our love for our city." Volunteers in our community joined alongside frontline heroes together as one, with one mission, with one responsibility to dust off and provide backup to all those who needed a helping hand. Coming to the main part of today's session, which is the impact of volunteering or volunteer work on an individual's life. Now, of course, There could be many other points, and I'm sure each one of you has your own perspective. These points are from my personal perspective. The first is granting the individual feeling of the pleasure of God Almighty. As the God Almighty commanded to help the needy, as he says in the Holy Quran, he who volunteers is good for him. This is in Surah Al-Baqarah. Next is to express loyalty to the homeland or country by participating in initiatives and putting in tangible effort to make the world a better place to live. Strengthening social skills. It enhances communication with others, as dealing with people from different places and circumstances helps the volunteer build a strong network of relationships, not to mention the impact he leaves on people's souls, making the process of communication between people meaningful and purposeful. Learning to work in a team. The volunteer work is carried out most of the time in a group. That includes a group of different people, of both genders, of all ages, who come from different backgrounds and from different parts of the community. Improves mood and mental health. Volunteering reduces depression and frustration because volunteering gives enthusiasm, activity, and a positive feeling because of its help to others without any personal interest. And the reason for this enthusiasm is due to the hormone of happiness, or dopamine, which is produced in the brain. And let's not forget, the greater the giving, the greater the feeling. It brings happiness and fulfillment. Volunteering is an opportunity to discover passion and personal interest, and it also breaks routine and boredom. Maintains physical health. It's good for physical health. It's good for the body. A study was done which indicates that people who work in the community or who volunteer are less likely to suffer from chronic diseases such as diabetes and stress. And volunteering may also help reduce some symptoms and the risk of heart disease. It also helps develop professional skills. Volunteering requires mastering and using some skills or practicing skills. Most important is the teamwork, pre-planning for the tasks or completion of tasks, organizing and managing everything, solving problems, overcoming obstacles that face the volunteer in different situations. A volunteer gains experience in how to plan, manage crises, and work in a team in the field of his profession professionally, and helps gain experience through volunteering. that gives a new dimension to a person's life. With the practice of volunteering, the individual is no longer concerned only with his personal needs, but goes beyond concern for the affairs and needs of others in the community. It changes the lifestyle of the individual, as volunteering breaks the life routine that the individual is accustomed to, such as going to work daily, going out with friends, sharing daily activities at family gatherings, etc. Volunteering contributes to the development of a sense of responsibility, and it helps or creates a feeling, or lets a person become initiative and innovative. Creation of community initiatives that develop the individual's desire for self-development and the search for opportunities to develop personal skills and cooperate with others to achieve the desired goals. Volunteering is a strong opportunity and has a clear impact on refining the personality of the individual. To register as a volunteer and sign up for events listed with CDA, or the Community Development Authority, I would suggest you to download Dubai Volunteer app. It's available on the Play Store, on Android devices, and App Store on the Apple devices. We'll just go through a short video which shows the steps on how to register. You may follow the steps, fill in your information, so you can volunteer in any of the volunteering opportunities. After completing the registration, you'll be receiving an SMS. And after you confirm, you may log in using your credentials and then click on the calendar icon to see the different activities that are available and sign in or sign up for the event. Once you do that, once you confirm, you'll receive an email, and once you reach for the event, you may check in and check out before you leave to get your volunteering hours. And later on, you may get your certificate online using the app. Other than that, there are several other volunteering opportunities or initiatives in the United Arab Emirates. We'll go one by one, and I'll explain a bit in brief. We have the volunteers.ae portal. It's a portal to support volunteering. Volunteers can register themselves on this portal and let organizations find them through the portal's online register. Volunteers could be individuals, a group, or an organization. The portal also publishes volunteering opportunities and criteria of the volunteers needed. This will help volunteers to study the event, to know the nature of the event, and their capabilities before applying. Volunteers are entitled to recognitions in terms of awards and volunteering hours, which can be added to build their online profile. Day for Dubai. It's an initiative launched by the Dubai government in 2017. It calls on nationals and residents of Dubai to volunteer on one day in a year to help those in need and support community services by offering their time, knowledge, or skills. Volunteers can contribute by giving either a full day to the community or the volunteering activities, or spread their time over the year to complete a day. You may download the Day for Dubai app. Again, it's available on App Store as well as the Google Play Store. Dubai Volunteer Program. I've already shown a brief video on how to sign up for the different volunteering activities on Dubai Volunteering Program. It's an initiative by Community Development Authority. It's the first formal body of Dubai government established to manage volunteering services in the United Arab Emirates, with a special focus on the Emirate of Dubai. The program connects deserving community causes with willing. The program connects deserving community causes with willing volunteers, and thereby fostering a spirit of unity and care throughout the society. It lets individuals and companies to register as volunteers for various activities and events organized by the Volunteer Affairs section. These events are typically held in conjunction with various government departments or non-profit organizations and private institutions to serve the community. Takatuf. Takatuf by Emirates Foundation is one of the most important initiatives aimed at raising public awareness on social needs and promoting the culture of volunteering as a way of life among the various groups of the community. Inspired by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces. Takatuf is a voluntary social program established in 2007 to foster a culture of volunteering throughout the United Arab Emirates. Takatuf mobilizes people and resources across the nation to deliver creative and sustainable solutions for proven community needs. It provides an opportunity for the youth to volunteer for a number of humanitarian and social programs and to use their time in a meaningful way that polishes their character and develops their sense of responsibility towards their community. SAND. It's another volunteering initiative by Emirates Foundation. This is in cooperation with National Emergency Crisis and Disaster Management Authority, also known as NCEMA. SAND is an Arabic word for support. It's the National Emergency Response Program of the United Arab Emirates. It was launched in 2009. SAND draws on the strengths of proven international models, particularly the Swedish Civil Defense League and the United States Citizen Corps. It unites volunteers throughout the UAE who share a sense of social and civic responsibility and prepares them to cope with national and international emergencies, thus demonstrating the country's readiness to manage any crisis situation. SAND contributes to the community's resilience towards disasters, crises, and emergencies by building a cadre of emergency response volunteers through training citizens on basic safety and emergency procedures, deploying certified emergency response volunteers where needed, conducting safety awareness campaigns, responding to large-scale international crises and disasters, supporting existing emergency response organizations. ISAFNI, a program by Dubai Corporation for Ambulance Services. It's dedicated to providing ambulatory care as a first-time emergency responder in the community with a will of individuals and volunteers. This is for the health and well-being of the community at any time and free of charge. This program is developed under a special methodology for the management of volunteers. It helps to develop a clear guidance system to ensure the achievement of voluntary ambulatory service to the community. The UAE Red Crescent Society. The volunteer department at UAE Red Crescent Society aims to attract volunteers and engage them in activities that support community at the social, cultural, and economical levels, be it individually or through secondary groups of the authority. We're all police initiative by Abu Dhabi Police. Under this initiative, citizens and residents are trained to become community police officers. The program provides skills through courses that include sense of security, first aid, crisis and disasters, dealing with community diversity, writing reports of all kinds, organizing events and activities, solving problems, public speaking skills, innovation and providing ideas for security systems. Dubai Cares. Dubai Cares hosts different activities around the year with the support of the United Arab Emirates community. Sharjah Volunteering Center. The Sharjah Volunteer Center was established in 2016 with the aim of contributing to social solidarity and community cohesion in the Emirate of Sharjah, as the center undertakes the task of organizing volunteer work and spreading its culture among members of society and its institutions. These are some of my personal participations during the COVID-19 pandemic. The initiative, Your City is Calling You, through Day for Dubai. I was sterilizing ambulance vehicles at Dubai Corporation for Ambulance Services. And 10 Million Meals initiative of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Complete recitation of Holy Quran. This was online in Ramadan, where daily we used to complete recitation of a part of the Holy Quran. Along with me, we used to have some other reciters from different parts of the globe. Volunteer and team leader with Dubai Police at the Dubai Mall. This is since October. And also during the New Year's Eve. Volunteer and team leader at GITEX 2020. And also emergency response volunteer at Dubai Hospital and at Sharjah International Airport. Since March, I've participated in 22 volunteering programs, out of which I've led the volunteers team in 11 events and managed and organized 5 online initiatives for volunteers. I've also managed and organized 12 online workshops for volunteers. And I've organized and managed 11 online sessions for volunteers. And I've been a speaker at 4 online forums. Friends of Parkinson's UAE. After being diagnosed with Parkinson's, I accepted the fact that I can live with Parkinson's, or YOPD, which is young onset Parkinson's disease. It's not a great feeling, but it's livable. Although the fatigue is unbearable, although I was told to go see a shrink and start antidepressants, I knew I'm not depressed. Finally, I met someone who listened to me, who felt my pain, faced my fears, and his compassion, empathy, and warmth and his passion of his patients and his unarguable expertise in field of Parkinson's gained confidence in him and realized all this part of my young onset Parkinson's disease. Many like me, under this radar, underdiagnosed, undertreated, and underrated. Many like me, misdiagnosed, mistreated. Many like me, who've had sleepless nights, depressed, and wasted. I felt time had come for me to step up and lend a hand to those who are in need and support their caregivers, provide advice and support which is needed to combat life with Parkinson's disease. FOP UAE, or Friends of Parkinson's UAE, was formed with the vision of enhancing awareness about Parkinson's disease, educating and ensuring that people of determination with Parkinson's and their caregivers are empowered with enough knowledge about Parkinson's disease and to take care of them in our community in the best possible way. Friends of Parkinson's UAE was registered with Community Development Authority. We've hosted some virtual sessions and visited Parkinson's patients. Following safety precautions of COVID-19, we were not able to host any event in public, but hope, inshallah, once everything is back to normal, we will be having activities where we will be able to deal direct and support the Parkinson's community in the UAE. Soon, we have a plan to launch a virtual majlis where we'll be having monthly events or monthly sessions. Each event or each session will be aimed to create awareness, communication, collaboration, support for patients, their caregivers, and their loved ones who may not be able to access various resources such as multidisciplinary care, which will reduce the impact on disease burden and enhance the quality of life. Young onset Parkinson's disease is more prevalent in some races like Filipino, Arab, and Persian population. Parkinson's disease like any chronic condition, like diabetes and high blood pressure, it is treatable, but not curable. Awareness about Parkinson's, it aids to early diagnosis, which is crucial in controlling and managing the condition. I'm proud to say, being a Parkinson's patient, being a part of Friends of Parkinson's UAE, we came together, uniting community, bringing awareness, and drive Parkinson's away. Volunteering is the finest form of unlimited giving. It adds life to life, and it is like a seed sowed that bears fruit and feeds all. For me, Parkinson's was not the end. It gave me a new beginning. It was the start of a new life. A life where joy of giving weighs more than act. To an extent, it has become addictive. We as volunteers do not stop here. We were always there, and we will continue being there for anyone who needs someone. That's humanity, that's solidarity. My recommendations in the end would be, we as volunteers, it is our duty or our responsibility to spread the culture of volunteer work, to improve the perspective or to improve the perceptive mental image of non-volunteer members of the society, to achieve social development and progress. And I also call on those who speak different languages to post an instructional video in several languages on different social media platforms to register on Dubai Volunteer Program platform and register for other volunteering programs, which I had just mentioned during my talk a few minutes ago. Last but not the least, my heart goes out to all the volunteers across the globe, especially to those in the United Arab Emirates. This country is known for its goodness, love, peace, and tolerance, a place we all call home. Much love. God bless you all. Thank you. Please feel free to ask any questions, or you may share your thoughts if you have any. You may unmute yourself and just ask any question.
This is Bint Zahra. Can I ask a question?
The second, Zahra, I have one of the attendees here who would like to ask a question. Yes, Brother Sajid.
So how do you get the disease, this disease, Parkinson disease, initially? Is there any way we can prevent it?
I have a question related to this. You know, as a volunteer for this, some of these programs, I was participating and I was seeing you many events, you know. In regarding this COVID situation, all events are stopped, as you said. But under CDA, Community Development Authority of Dubai, have any virtual events for volunteers? You mentioned about this Parkinson's dance group. Yeah. Regarding CDA, any events are coming, upcoming events, virtual events are coming, or what about that? Question and answer.
Sure. Talking about events, be it online, virtual, or the ones that we can participate in person. There are various events. And as I said, the best thing would be to download the Dubai Volunteer app, where you will be able to see all the events that are conducted, be it by CDA or be it by one of the volunteer groups or volunteer teams. Talking about the COVID-19 pandemic, as we are all well aware of the safety precautions that the government has taken to ensure the safety of everyone, this has opened a new door for all of us. We'd never thought that we would be able to go virtual. Being virtual has actually shown us or taught us that we could be physically in different parts of the globe, but connect together on one platform for one mission, which is to serve the community and make this place better for our future generations to come. Today's event is of no difference. This event has matched between two different types. One, which is the virtual, that we have all the attendees who have joined us online, and all of you here. You've joined me here at Hatta Communities Center, and CDA has organized this event to motivate everyone in the society to volunteer. And this is an example that everyone in the society can give back. There are no limits. Nothing stops you. Sky is the limit. Any other question? Yes. To give you a brief, there are two different types of volunteering, and I'm sure Brother Ahmed would be joining me in saying that one is general volunteering and one is specific volunteering or specialized volunteering. General volunteering, anyone can do it. But when it comes to specialized volunteering, it has to be in support of or in collaboration with one of the registered organizations. To register as a volunteer team, you may register first of all as a volunteer yourself and then register the team. Talking about the activities that you mentioned on giving legal advice or medical support, this can be done, but it has to be in collaboration with one of the registered organizations in the country. And I would suggest to protect your rights as a volunteer and to make sure that everything is done in the right way, in the legal way, to register whatever you're doing, because end of the day, you might require to have a record of whatever you've done. And without registering, you might land up in, let's say, trouble as well. Because especially when it comes to specialized volunteering, it must be in collaboration with one of the registered organizations. I hope I've answered your question. Any other questions?
Mr. Huzaifa, there are a few questions in the chat area. Maybe we would appreciate your feedback on that. One of them is there a link for registration?
Sure. Just 1 second. Once I'm done with the questions, like answering the questions here from the attendees, we will go back to the chat and everyone else who has joined us virtually. Yes, sorry. Sure. As I had shown in the video, anyone who has a valid or who has Emirates ID, whether it's a citizen or a resident, from anywhere in the United Arab Emirates can register as a volunteer, be it on Dubai Volunteer app, Day for Dubai app, or the other various programs that I had mentioned. Anyone can register, anyone can be part of the volunteering programs. It is up to the person to see what events are available, what skills are required, and sign up for these events. Any other questions? Before we move on to Avaya? We done? Okay. Sorry? No worries. Thank you. أرسلك إياه. بشوف. Can we have the questions, please?
Yes, that's right. The first of them is there any link for registration?
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
There is a link for registration. Just a second. تقدر ترشحها مرة ثانية شغال الحين. It is shared by it is going to be shared by محمد محسن now. بتحطها على الشات؟ نفس الرابط. شغال الحين. لا شغال الحين. The same link is working now. You may register for volunteering hours. Okay. Sumit, is there any other question?
Yes, there are two more actually. Thank you so much for the first one.
Okay.
The second question is, do we get any certificate for this session?
Mohammed, do we have certificates? بنعطيهم شهادات online ولا؟ Okay. Those who have registered on CDA, they will be receiving online certificates in the app, as I had shown in the video. And those who have registered on volunteers.ae will be receiving online certificates on volunteers.ae. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Huzaifa. There's another one which asks, how does someone gets the Parkinson's disease and how can we prevent it on the initial level itself?
The first is, this is genetic. It could be in the genes. Second is in the environment. Like some people, they might be in places where there are probably certain chemicals in the environment. This might cause Parkinson's as well. Third, certain medicines which might affect the brain. Last but not the least, stress. Let's not forget, it could be without any reason as well. And if it is diagnosed from the beginning, of course, it will help a lot in controlling and making a person's life or improving the quality of life. But it is treatable but not curable. It's the same as diabetes. It is the same as high blood pressure. It can be treated with medicines, but it cannot be cured. Once you have it, you have it. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Huzaifa. I think it's very enlightening. There's one more question in Arabic. You can please click on the chat area. Please
Sure.
pardon my knowledge. I can't read. Sorry.
Okay. This is from Muhammad Abdullah Muhammad. He says, what would I like to advise people of determination who are afraid of volunteering or who do not volunteer? All I would like to say is, in today's world, everything is in the reach of all. You can be, let's say, in point A and get something done in point B, virtually, of course. There are so many doors which have been opened. End of the day, it is on the person. If a person wants to give, he can give. Be it virtually, be it in person. There are so many events where people of determination with skills who have, let's say, skills in media, who have public speaking skills, who have, they may join in any way. I hope I have answered the question. Brothers and sisters who are available virtually, who have joined us, if you have any question, please feel free to unmute your microphone and you may go ahead. Ahra, I think you had a question. Are you still here?
Yes, Huzaifa, I already asked the question in chat and you have replied to it. Thank you so much.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Is there any other question? Ikhwani, khawati, brothers and sisters, thank you for joining us for this session. It was a pleasure talking to you all, sharing my experience. I hope to see you all in future events. Before we sign off, I would like to thank the Community Development Authority and Nabdh Emarat volunteering team, Mlbar volunteering team, and of course, Avaya Spaces for hosting this event. God bless you. Thanks a lot.